Hi everyone. I was supposed to be in Cyprus these days, participating in Bagwash conference for youth. Everything was ready for me. The flight ticket, the hotel pocket, the medical insurance, the visa, my passport, everything was ready. But because of Israel, I didn't make it. I had all that imagination and dreams to step to these borders that I see from my window. I had all that imagination and dreams to meet my friends in West Bank and in Israel. I had imagination to hang out with my aunt in West Bank, in Ramallah city. But I couldn't make it. And this is just a story of hundreds of thousands of stories for young in Gaza who have much more important reason to leave Gaza more than me, and they didn't make it. And this conference is for youth basically, so I will talk a little about youth in Gaza. The average youth in Gaza, the average young people in Gaza, they didn't, in their life, they didn't see a plane or a train or a ship or a seaport, airport, river, bridge, all of these things that we see on internet. Of course we have seen planes, yes, the F-16 and the warplanes that Israel used to bomb Gaza, but we haven't seen a civilian plane in all of our life. So we haven't seen any of these things that we see on internet or on TV. We are just all trapped in this 200 miles square. And if someone, like, I always see those people, some people always like to blame the victim, like the young in Gaza, they're responsible for their choices. They choose this way, they choose the violence, they choose the wrong way, the killing culture, the death culture. No, this is wrong. This is what Israel want the world to see Gaza young, but this is not truth. If anyone of you just accidentally add someone on Facebook, he will see how Gaza youth think. If any one of you just walk in Gaza city, in Gaza street, you will see that the young in Gaza, they follow the fashion, they have dreams, they have their fashion haircuts, they love. They support teams, international teams in Europe, in Spain, in English, the English teams and the Spanish teams. There are hundreds of thousands of fans of Barcelona and Real Madrid in Gaza. We love everything beautiful in this life, like anybody else around the world. But like anybody else around the world, the youth in Gaza, they will not accept to live under occupation. They will not accept to live without dignity. And like anybody else in the world, it's not terrorism and it's not braveness. It's not something evil and it's not something angel. They will resist. They will resist this situation. They will not accept this injustice against Gaza and against Palestine in general. And they will resist. Sometimes they will use violence, yes, sometimes they will use peaceful ways, but in any way they will not accept this. So my topic was about I have been selected to choose one of the 4 topics. They were the Arab Spring, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the refugees crisis, and extremism. So I have chosen the most topic that I have a knowledge in and that I have experienced in my life. And somehow I think it's integrated with the other topics, especially the refugees and the crisis. So I choose the Palestinian Israeli conflict to talk about. So in the conference I was supposed to talk about some peace treaties, the obedience of the peace treaties and the challenges to the peace, between Israel and Palestine. So I was thinking to talk about agreements like or ideas about like one state solution or two state solution, but there is no time. And actually, I thought it's just waste of time. I directly went to the challenges, to the peace, to any plan or any plan that was supposed to make a peace in this land. It will not succeed as long there is one challenge, one main challenge. It's the racism, the racist ideology that Israel follow and hold for decades, which I call it Zionism. Now, I have seen a lot of people always try to whitewash the Zionism, the term Zionism. And the best thing that I have seen to whitewash Zionism and to innocence Zionism from blocking peace is that the current Israel is not the Zionism about, or the current Israeli government is not what Zionism about. But look to the Zionism. All of them agree on one thing, that Zionism means a Jewish state. No one can deny that in Zionism defender. Now, just look to the name. Don't look to anything else. Just look to the name, the Jewish state. And as we all know, to be Jewish is something race. It's something about race, not about religion. Although I think it's about religion. Although I believe, as a Muslim, I believe Judaism is religion. But for Jews, especially the Zionists, Judaism is a race. So when we call a Jewish state, imagine how the non-Jewish who live in this state will feel. Just look at the name. Like, I will use example in America. If you are a black person and America wants to call itself a white nation or a white state or a white country, how can you feel this? Regardless all the laws, regardless all the systems or the systematic and the society behavior against you, just look at the name. It's enough to tell you that it's a racist state and it's a racist ideology, the Zionist ideology. Any discussion about solution, about one state solution or two state solution, it's just hopeless. As long as there is this ideology, this racist ideology, the Zionist ideology, the ideology that differ between Jewish and Arabs, differ between the values of two humans live in one land. As long as there is this ideology in this land, there will not be peace, and there will not be not even one agreement that will live. The agreements that Israel agreed with Jordan and with Egypt, they both did not recognize Israel as a Jewish state. But Israel somehow required this from Palestinians to recognize Israel as a Jewish state. So as I have said before, it's about this racist ideology, and it shapes everything around it. Any discussion, any dialogue that would not face this problem, it will be hopeless. It will be hopeless dialogue. As long as there is this ideology that control the land, that the current government, they admit it and insist to follow it, to make two laws and two terms of standards for two people, there will not be peace. And as I have said, it shapes everything around it. Every argument or every discussion, you will feel this racism, even in their questions. Like, for example, if I said my story to some Zionist one that I don't have freedom of movement, and he will just say, why did you choose the right-wing government, the Hamas government in Gaza? Even though that he's wrong and he's missing the fact that Palestinians voted for 10 years ago, not 4 years, 10 years ago. He also missed the fact that he or she did not have to pay my price, the price that I pay from no freedom of movement or to live under occupation. he just voted to the Israeli government, or the Israelis in general, the Israeli majority. They voted to the most right-wing government ever in Israeli history just last year. Now, do Israelis or right-wing voters, do they have to, go through all these things that I go through, to be blocked in very small area, to be blocked from basic things for months, to be blocked from freedom of movement, not be able to travel to their work, to their studies, to their relatives? Do the Israelis who elected this right-wing government, do they pay the price? Now, he or she missed the fact, because simply they don't have equal values for both of us. This is Zionism. He is Jewish. The Israelis Jewish, because they are Jewish, they don't have to pay the price if they did something wrong or something violent. But the Palestinians have to pay this price. It's totally, that's why you see in every argument you can't feel it, you can't sense this discussion. Like for example, if we say that why there is no peace, and some Zionists will say because we feel fear from Gazans or from Palestinians. But do not Palestinians also feel fear, and also they want security for their state? Do not have the right to feel fear, but their feeling or their security is nothing, because they worth nothing according to this ideology that currently control everything in this land, in this country, the Israeli country. Now after all I have said about the problem, I don't mean to look at to make it look very dark. I've said the problem, I've said the challenge to the peace, because the solution or the ideas of the solutions will be to get rid of this problem. If we get rid from this problem, we'll be in better place and more near, more closer to the peace. And any peace plan, whether it's two-state solution or one-state solution, one democratic state solution that have rights for all of its citizens, equal rights for all of its citizens, it will be in a much better place. And in fact, in one-state solution or in two-state solution, if we get rid of this Zionism, I don't see there is a lot of challenges. There are a lot of common values and shared values between Palestinians and Jews in this land. I mean, half of Israel is Jewish. They came from Middle East, from the countries that Arabs came from. Even look to in 2003 when Americans invaded Iraq, and they burned Baghdad and many Iraqi cities. They were Jewish, Israeli Jews, who were crying on their cities in Iraq. Just like, I mean, even though the leadership, especially the Benjamin Netanyahu, was from the first one who pushed to this war against Iraq because of massive destruction weapons, and we all see after that where was these destruction weapons. But even look to 2 days ago, when there were wildfires in Israel, many Palestinians, yes, some of them were celebrating, but many of them, including my fathers and those people who worked as worker inside the Green Line in 70s and 80s, they were crying. They were crying while watching Haifa and north of Israel and some parts of Jerusalem burning. We have a lot of common things. We even look to the food, the halal food and the kosher foods. Look to the clothes. Look to even the praying. Some Jewish friend told me that they are allowed to pray in mosques. The only place beside the synagogue, it's the mosque that Jews are permitted to pray in. Look to the look even like 1 year ago, there were some protests in United States of America and in Germany because of some Jews and Muslims. They were protesting against a law that banned the circumcision. Again, it's something that done to the babies. It's in Muslim traditions and in Jewish traditions. So they were both protesting. Even look to the just 1 week ago, when Israel was planning to make a law that ban to use loudspeakers for to call for the praying. The parties that voted against the law in the Knesset, in the Israeli parliament, it was the religious Jewish parties, because they have also traditions that they might be in danger if this law was passed, like these traditions to use the loudspeakers to welcome Shabbat. So if we go back to the USA or to the Germany, we will feel that Muslims and Jews live in more peace, not in 100% peace, but in more peace and more coexistence than the ones who live inside Israel, simply because there is a law that does not have a Zionist ideology idea that differ between two people. It's not a Jewish state, it's not a Christian state, it's not a Muslim state, it's a secular state. Germany, Europe, Britain, Germany, any country in Europe or in the United States of America, it's just a secular state. They both have same rights. That's why you will see them more peaceful to each other than in this land. So this was my my words that I was supposed to say in the conference, and I couldn't do it, so I just make it from Gaza. Thank you for watching.